Conversations with JT and Low. Classic Conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way to read. Classic conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go. Classic conversations with JT and Low. Classic conversations with JT and Low. You never know which way the rhetoric is gonna go.
Oh, you don't? Hey, yo, what's happening, people? Y'all know what time it is. It is time for Classic Conversations with JT and Lo.
And Jose.
As you can see, Angelo is running just a little behind. He's doing a good civic duty in the community, but he'll be on his way on over here. As you can see, we have Miss Jose, who has always been one of our more opinionated
Y'all favorite.
guests
Let's say y'all
of our
favorite.
show. Of our show. And as you can see to my left,
The
you're right.
infamous
Go ahead.
Sunshine. Can you hear me? Can you hear me good? Well, I got another name. If y'all want to start calling me Freedom, that'll be dope too.
What?
Yes, it's Sunshine of Freedom.
A little while ago, she was sitting over there like, I ain't got nothing to say.
Right, right.
You see what happens when that
Broke
light
out a
turn
new
on?
name and everything.
So listen, we're gonna like I said, Angelo is on his way up here. Asa Copper still got some things going on Monday nights. Don't worry about it. He will be joining us soon. Really wish he was here tonight to talk about some of these things we're gonna talk about, but we'll get him in. Get that good conversation going. Right now, go ahead and tell a friend, tag a friend. Go on, get this stuff out there. Make sure that everybody, goes in and follows us, hits that follow, hits that like, hits that follow. Get on over there to our IG page. Get on over there to our TikTok page. Go ahead over there. Classic Conversations with JT and Lo. Classic with the K. Conversations with the K. If you get that, you'll get everything else that's coming up with it. So make sure to get that follow in. 404-500-1605 is the telephone number if you want to be a part of this conversation. Before I get going, I wanted to, talk about, the trip that I had, man. We was talking about a little bit before we got going. Stage play I do, God Guys, a stage play. We actually we were booked and we presented in St. Martin at the Phillipsburg Art and Cultural Center. Trying to get the art, the culture scene, and everything going over there, the drama clubs and stuff like that. We actually presented to some kids at school. Had a big Q&A with them about acting and all of that type stuff. How we got started. How some of us actually started from birth and some of us started late. That type of deal. We also did some improv with another drama class that came and kicked it with us. Whenever we do a place someplace, we always do some outreach to the community. But the main thing I want to talk about, me and my roommate, our television was messed up, so we decided not to get it fixed to where we was only streaming. So we were kicking it with no news. I mean, we had social media on our phones, of course, but we did not look at the news. We were basically just kicking it over there. If we looked at anything, it was a movie on Netflix or it was a game on, no, we couldn't see the game. They wouldn't let us see the game over there. Prime was tripping, so we didn't get to see the game. But we was basically just had no idea what was happening in the United States of America. None whatsoever, other than friends on Facebook, and it just so happened none of my friends was talking about the craziness that was going on over here. And we didn't do this on purpose. It just happened organically. We just decided not to get the television fixed because we didn't want nobody coming into our room. So we kicked it, and it wasn't until I got back that probably the second day after I got back, I found out about the government shutdown, or is that what they're calling it this time? Government shutdown?
Yeah.
I had no idea that it was happening, So now the government is shut down, and it got me to thinking back to how seeing those people, the way they live over there. Those folks do not have half of the things or the luxuries that we have in the United States. But seeing them live without the pressures or the thoughts in the back of their mind of what the government is doing, and they're just living, man. I mean, chilling.
And we
were doing the same thing over there because, again, we disconnected. And it wasn't done on purpose. It was just done organically because we did not have CNN. Yeah. We did not have NBC or Fox. We didn't have none of that. So, we was just kicking it. But we living under some crazy times, people. This is Mental Health Month. Yes, this is Mental Health Month. I'm telling you, after going over there and coming here, I can see how people are breaking down with their mental health, because of even the things that you don't talk about. All the stuff that's going on in the government, it's in the back of your mind. You may not be talking about it every day, but it still takes up space, which keeps you from being able to actually free yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I just had to mention that, man. It was just crazy, the difference of while I was there compared to here.
Yeah.
So you know how they be spraying aerosols, chemicals, and chemtrails, they call it, in the sky with, like, the jets and stuff look like airplanes. They disguise it as contrails. Did they have those there? Like, did you see the difference?
The planes over there, like when you land pretty much at eye level. It's not, you don't really fly, planes don't really fly above the island. I didn't see, I'm saying, because when we landed, I mean, there's a beach. It's a tourist attraction where you can actually sit out there and you could actually see people in the windows. That's how close you are to the plane landing. But I don't think planes actually went over the island. Now that I'm thinking about it, it was all over the water, but it was pretty low. So I can't say. And we were looking up because the skies was great, the clouds was great.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Even when it rained, it was crazy, man. It's my second time in St. Martin. But I did more looking out over the water. I did more of that this time because my room that was my view.
Yeah.
So waking up and looking out, it got dark early, so I got to see some of the clouds before going to sleep. The downtown area was pretty cool. It wasn't nasty. People had cigarette butts, that type of stuff. But you can tell that they're prideful people. They do have a lot of stray dogs. I was tripping on that, brother. There's a lot of dogs walking around. I mean, a lot.
I've been to St. Martin twice. I've been to all those little Caribbean islands over there. My brother actually used to live in the Virgin Islands some years ago.
Yeah, it's just the difference of
So you can
what
get
you feel.
your food from the tree?
I saw some do that. We went to one of the schools, and while we was walking through this alley, not an alley, but it was like this path in between these houses, some of the cats, they did reach up and grab. I wouldn't eat nothing off no tree.
What?
Yeah, I wouldn't eat nothing.
But you trust the fruit over here?
Hey,
But you're not gonna eat no island fruit.
hey, listen. I did not grow up eating off of a tree. I ain't about to start now. It's nothing against nothing. I ain't saying there's something against it. I'm just saying.
Right.
No, I didn't grow. Hey, you know, I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean.
Yeah, Georgia, America, they want to cut down all the female trees.
They did.
No,
Yeah.
no reproductive trees.
That's exactly what they did.
Yeah, so of course they wouldn't
So they
have
can
us
charge you.
living naturally, organically,
Right.
alkalinity. Nah.
I'll tell you, when I went to Albania, I did try the fruit that was on the trees. There was different fruit trees in different places that we went. We actually went and looked at different real estate. My friend was trying to find an apartment. And we went to 3 different places, and all of them had trees, fruit trees.
Fruit trees. Exactly. But
Well, you know, people did talk about, you know, how the food was good.
did it taste different? Like,
I wouldn't say it tasted different, but you can tell that it was different because without going into detail, you know, the first couple of days was, you know, had an adjustment period.
right.
Let's put it that way.
Right.
Yeah, an adjustment period.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, one thing that I had to mention, man, for breakfast they gave us these Vienna sausages. When I tell you I've never had a Vienna sausage taste so damn good.
Really?
I don't know what they
Am I confused? You saying
you
a
think
Vienna
Vienna
sauce?
like-
yes.
the small one?
Yeah.
Those you talking about from the
Hey,
ones in the
let me
can?
tell you
Yeah,
something.
'cause
They
I'm
they,
thinking,
they got some type of sauce that they put them things in, man. Because we was all like, you know, you wanted some type of meat, but I'm looking over there, I'm like, I don't recognize anything.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm looking, and it was breakfast. I'm like, I recognize. I got some bacon. You know what? Let's try the Vienna sausages.
Wow.
They were so good.
Oh man, you should
But
have tried everything.
it was
Right.
yeah, I'm a little picky on that.
Because ain't a Vienna sausage like a mix of
everything.
foolishness?
Boy,
I don't know.
I don't know what sauce they put on that thing,
But it
but
was
boy.
bussin'.
Yeah, but the food was really good. They give you a lot of food. You know, that was in our contract, so they kept giving us food. It's the first time I've been on. I can honestly say I had more leftovers in my room than I've ever had on a vacation. Not because it wasn't good and I was taking it home, it's because they gave us so much type of deal. But it was a good time. It was a good time. But like I said, I just wanted to point out that, folks, we are living with some serious strain and stress on our minds, which puts it on our soul, which puts it on our body. So just remember that part. So we're gonna get moving on and get some things going. First topic that we're gonna talk about is something that we've talked about in the past. I don't think you were on the show yet or maybe you were. I don't know. You've been around for a minute. So,
I have.
so you may have
Shout
been
out
around.
to me.
But-
I've been
but-
around.
But basically, you know, I'm riding around listening to talk radio in the morning sometimes, and I heard this one, and I just heard some of the people calling in. I said, you know what, maybe we can revisit that. So it's in regards to, you know, married people or just parents. So is it smart to stay with your partner for the sake of the kids, or if you leave, are you being selfish knowing that your child or children will grow up in a split parenting environment?
Well, what I will say is that you should not stay with someone just because of the kids. If you think you can rebuild the love connection or work on the relationship, that's one thing. But if you are just not getting along, and I'm not going to say just falling out of love, because it's more to it than just being in love, right? But if you're not getting along and it is a toxic relationship, it's way worse for the kids. If it's a toxic relationship or if it's a fake relationship, because you're teaching your kids to either not operate in their authenticity, and you're also teaching them to navigate trauma and to make trauma normal, right?
Right.
I can remember wishing that my parents would break up because my mother and father were toxic. They fought a lot. My mother was hospitalized because of my dad. There was a time I came home and the police had just like pulled up in front of our house, and I walked to the back of our house where I used to live at. We had alleyways, and my mom was laying in the alley, and I thought she was dead, where my dad had stabbed my mom.
Wow.
And yeah, and it's been a very those are some things that have been with me for my entire life. A lot of those images that I saw coming up, and I remember asking my mom at one point, why didn't she leave him? And she told me it was for us. And I said, don't do it for us. Right? Because at some point I feel bad to say this, but I started to lose respect for my mom
For sure.
because she was staying with someone
Who didn't respect her?
who didn't respect her. And I loved my dad. But the way he would tear up our house and, fight with her in front of us.
What I was just talking about at the house with the boys.
Yeah. And so it's something that when you live with that on a daily basis, it changes your nervous system. It changes how you see the world. You don't feel safe, right? So I'm not a big proponent again for someone to stay in a toxic relationship,
For the
an
sake of
abusive
the
relationship
children.
for the sake of the kids.
And I feel the exact same way. I feel like love and energy is shown through all aspects of a person, whether it's a child or adult. And if you're in a relationship, you're supposed to have grace, love, and kindness, respect, loyalty, and trust for each other. But when you have children and you say, oh, I can't stand this beat, can't, always arguing, thinking negative about the other person that you with, it's always going to be negatively effective on the children. Like, it's going to be a negative effect on the children. So why am I staying with someone for my children when I can't even exude the energy of love that they're supposed to
Yes.
receive to fill themselves up to be the most godly person that they could be? Because you can only present the God within you if you love yourself. So the goal is to know yourself and love God. So, yeah, I don't think that a toxic family, mother, father should stay together for the sake of children.
And let me ask you this. I believe the same thing because, I'm non-custodial and showed you that I believe it because I didn't stay with mine for my child. But I was going to ask this. Those people that do decide to do that, do you think that they came from some type of trauma themselves?
Yep.
For sure.
Because that's what I found out later is that my grandparents had a toxic relationship, and so my mom saw a lot of things. And even I do want to address one thing with those generations. They didn't let women even have bank accounts till the 70s. So sometimes when they were in bad relationships, they had to stay for the sake of survival, right? They didn't let women buy cars or get houses
even have pockets.
houses in their names.
I put these on myself.
About to say, what
Look at my backpack. Ain't no pocket right there.
the hell you think this is?
What? What just happened?
I'm talking about women and how they suppressed us to the point where our clothes didn't even have pockets on
Okay,
them.
but
You just caught me off
I
guard.
feel you.
Dad.
I
I'm
know.
like,
She threw me
what
off
is
the-
this, OnlyFans? What is
But
Don't do that because I look good. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
Okay, go ahead.
But anyway, I'm just saying that. I'm just saying, like, her generation and her mother's generation, and,
Right.
and generations before, right? They were incentivized to stay with
Right.
toxic people because they didn't have any other choice, right? They could not have their own. And so they would talk you into staying, your mother is going to tell you you can deal with that.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And all men cheat, right? If he was a cheater, because I still feel like I know everybody doesn't agree, but I say that's abuse too. If you're married and that man is constantly cheating on you, that's abuse. Y'all know I believe that too. So, but now you don't have to put up with that, right? You can figure out how to co-parent. The other issue they had is if you're with someone that's abusive, that is when you decide to leave, that is the most dangerous time in the relationship. The chances of something happening to you from that person goes up dramatically. So you definitely need a supportive family.
That type of that physical thing, you're right. I do feel that a lot of people are not staying together for the kids. They're staying together because whichever one is getting beat up is staying because they're scared to leave.
Right.
It's a little different with that.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked that question is because I grew up my mother was being physically abused, left, and because of growing up without my father, it was my goal to not have a child that didn't live under the same roof with me.
Okay.
It's crazy how a goal can change.
Right.
How you can just say, you know what, I'm not going to reach that goal.
Right.
I'm not going to reach it.
Right. You get to a certain age and you realize why they said never say never.
Yeah. Because I always thought, and I've talked to other people about it, that's actually grew up in a single parent household to where they have actually dealt with or decided to see how far, let's face it, people end up pregnant. And when I say people, I'm talking about the father and the mother. They end up pregnant. And I've known people that's actually decided to try and make it work because they grew up without one of their parents. And so they was going to try and make it work because of that. I couldn't do it. Didn't take long.
I don't think it's wrong to try. But if you get into it and now it's just you're not able to build love, because there are people that there's arranged marriages all the time, right? And they can turn into love, or they can turn into a deep commitment, right? Where you have certain goals and things. That's your partner. So you do have those, but I think the only time it's an issue is when it's toxic, or you feel like you need to go outside of this relationship to get your needs met, whatever those needs are, right? Then it's like, why stay in it? Why show your kids something that's not real?
I mean, kids, we all say that children are innocent. They don't gather bad habits until they see bad habits. So it's no different than, how some people say, babies, when you give a baby to somebody and they keep crying, it's because they know something's wrong with that person.
Right.
Children can sense when there's tension.
They can.
Pets can even do it. You know what I'm saying? They can even do it when they can sense when there's tension in the house. And that's one of the reasons why I feel, like you said, if it's toxic, you shouldn't stay in it, because if they can sense it, they're going to sense it.
They're going to
sense it. Now you got a child that's inside the house trying to keep y'all together. You know, the child becomes the counselor. It happens. It happens more than you know. Let me see if I can go over some of these comments real quick here. What up, Unc? No, get the hell out of a negative. No, get the hell out of a negative in-house situation. The kids know it. The dogs know it. Life is too short. Take care of your responsibilities and move on.
Kids know it. The dogs know it.
What's up?
Unc being Unc. What's happening? Let's see what else we got here. Supreme Uncle. Boy, I tell you. What's up, Rossi? Number one, Mother Bracy, how y'all doing? Kiki, what's going on? All right, so we're gonna wrap that up because the Angelo has walked in the building, and we want to keep this recording clean, so we don't want him walking in front of the camera. So we're gonna take a quick break and come back. Angelo will be on set. You dig? We'll be right back. Classic Conversations with JT and Lo.
And Jose.
And sunshine.
There it is.
it's a fake relationship, if there is no connection there, or if there's fighting, then I feel like then you should leave. It's not good for the kids. But if it's just that you guys are just having issues, but you're still connecting, there's nothing like really huge, because I don't think love is the only reason to stay in a relationship. And I don't know if that's bad, but I don't think love is the only. I think there's more to a relationship when you have kids and things like that than just love. So what do you think, Angelo?
I was just trying to make sure I understood
Yeah.
the opinion. So if it's just based on toxicity, then sure, you don't want to put a child, especially the age of the child, in a toxic environment. That doesn't do anybody any good. But I didn't know the question was based on only being toxic or just in general.
Yeah.
Because in general, I think that you can make that work
Right.
if it's just in general. You know what I mean? Because it's based on age of the kids. I mean, there's all kinds of variables to that. But if it's a toxic relationship, there's any kind of violence or all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, run for the win. You know what I mean? But I want to make sure I understood correctly. That's all.
So you're in favor of staying for the kids?
I think if it's it can be a healthy environment, then yeah. If it's a healthy environment, and then yeah, you can make that work for the kids without any strain one way or the other. You know what I mean? But if it's not healthy, then no. But that's my opinion.
Anaya B, am I saying that right? I read your comment right after we went to break, and as someone who is currently dealing with this, it definitely hits harder. I would love for you to elaborate on that.
Which part are you dealing with?
Right. I would love for you to actually, if you want to type that in, which part are you dealing with? Are you
Trying to make a decision,
right?
You're
to
living.
leave?
Are you living in that environment
have you
right
left?
now? Yeah. Are you trying to make that decision? And is it toxic? You know what I mean? That's kind of, when you say you're living with it, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, and if you want to call in, 404-500-1605. We would love to hear from you. Unless you just want to type it all down, that would. I wish I would have saw that before we went to break, but yeah, that's what happened. Hopefully, she's still on.
Excuse my tardiness. I had a coach a football game tonight, so
Yeah, I
Oh,
told
wow.
him you was
flew on
doing
in.
your duties in the community and everything.
My community duties.
Doing his community duties. Classic conversations. That's what we do. We dialogue for the community. We also give time to the community.
Yeah. A lot of time.
You see, it's happening right as we speak. Just happened. You see what I'm saying?
High school girls, we won our first game tonight. The varsity team won 12-0. We had two games. The JV teams, their very first time out, they lost 6-0 on the tip ball.
Oh wow!
Girl caught it in the end zone for a touchdown. That's the only score we gave up. But the varsity team, that's 3 games in a row from the varsity girls. So real happy for the squad. Yeah.
All right. Nash doing okay still?
Yeah. Nash. yeah. He was all right.
I would like to get this young man's opinion.
And my bad. Dwayne didn't give me all your information. How you doing, brother?
How y'all doing?
Good deal. Go on and introduce yourself since Dwayne didn't give me no information.
My name is Izan Thompson, local creative, local artist, coordinator for Atlanta Streetwear Market.
Okay.
That's what's up.
All right. Good
Thought I
deal.
recognized you.
Also former employee of Angelo.
Hey, when I saw him, like, dang, he sure look familiar.
I
He looked like Dwayne. Sure.
Yeah, it's good. So there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
There's a good reason for that.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So what do you think about a younger man of your generation? If are you a father? Let's start.
Not
there.
a father.
Okay.
Still searching.
Okay. Understood.
But I did grow up in a different type of situation. So, but first, like half of my life, like to like 14, I was with my mom, and then I got in a situation where I wasn't getting along with my stepfather, so they sent me to live with my real dad.
Okay.
As like a lesson. And like the last 4 years of my life, I was in Georgia. So that mix of country swag and finesse, and then like proper upbeing, but being in a real artsy city really affected me out here, and kind of created like just allowed me to create my own universe of stuff I liked.
So you kind of grabbed a hold of some things and took it to your advantage.
Yes, I would definitely say that. But I will say that me being able to have that experience from both parents individually, I feel like that made me a very well-rounded person.
Okay. All right.
So you feel like it's okay for people to split?
Yeah, if you gotta leave, I mean, I'm a fighter, but if you gotta leave, if you're not able to sustain what's going on in that relationship, you should, by all means, you gotta use your free will. You can't infringe upon somebody's free will. You can't force somebody to do nothing.
Wow. Okay, so the young lady, she responded. Basically, she said, basically it's about leaving. We have got past putting hands on each other, but stuff like cheating still happens. And with us having 2 kids, I don't know if I should just leave or make it work. Wow.
I would say you have to decide if you're okay with being cheated on. I think that's the main thing that you're gonna have to do to decide. If you're saying that it's you guys are past the fighting, but now there's cheating, or if you're the one that's cheating, if he's okay with accepting it. Because everyone has a different threshold. I don't judge any woman or any man for their decision to stay or to leave, because no one knows what really goes on behind the walls of a marriage but those 2 people.
So I guess the question would be, do you all live in the house separately? You know what I mean? Are y'all living as roommates? Or are you still making it appear that, I don't know how young the kids are, the ages, but are you living as roommates, or are you making it appear that you're in a relationship still for the kids' sake? You know what I mean? Because that's a hard, especially if there's ever any hands-on stuff.
Right.
Because if there's still cheating involved and there's still feelings involved, then the hands-on part
Hands
is
gonna
not
come
ever
back.
going to go away.
Yeah,
Because at some point, emotions are going to still erupt, because you're going to look at a disrespectful type situation. So that's real. That's why I think, you know, a decision process really has to be made. Because if you're unless you're saying, you know, you have free will to do whatever, I'm not even questioning no more, then you're living in roommates. You know what I mean? That's different. But if you still feel like you're in a marriage and you still consider it cheating,
Right.
there's still emotions involved.
Yeah. If the word cheating came out, there's still emotions involved. That means that there's been a line that's been stepped over. Like I said, if y'all, I knew of, I don't know, I didn't really know them, but I do know of a couple that actually stayed together, slept in the same room, but they were basically living separate lives away from home for sake of the children. I met these folks at a party and just talking to them or whatever, and yeah, they said, you know, she was about to leave. She was waiting on somebody to pick her up from the barbecue, because they left the house, came to this barbecue, and she was waiting on somebody to pick her up. She was going on to do her whatever, and then they was gonna meet back up and go back home together for the sake of the kids. But they were away from home. They was living separate lives. You know, the kids were young at the time. I don't know how that works when kids get older. You know, you get kids 15 and 16 years old, bro. They out in the same streets you out in.
Here's what we know about kids, though, man. Kids are fairly adjustable. You know, kids adjust better than I think sometimes we as adults give them credit for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially if you communicate with them and kind of, because, you know, and just watching, you know, especially being around these kids a lot more here lately, you know, they're way more advanced teasy than we ever
was
were.
at that age.
And there's so much more out there, so much more accessible, you know. You know, just based on conversations I had with Al today, he was asking me some questions. I was like, man, it's just there. Y'all just have everything at your fingertips. literally good and bad, but it's right there at your fingertips. So, but I think they can adjust better than we give them credit for.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of, I think, not knowing this young lady's situation, but sometimes it's a matter of whether or not you make the decision for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You
And-
bring up
Yeah.
in regards to adjusting and kids being able to adjust more and everything being at their fingertips. I wonder, she commented on a good type to it, but I wonder, we talk about trauma as, children having trauma because they see that their parents are whatever.
Yeah.
But because of them adjusting so fast now, growing up faster than what we did, do you think it's as big of a trauma now for a
100%.
teenager if their parents split up?
If they split up.
Yeah. If their parents split up.
Anytime, if it's a volatile relationship, it's the kids are always going to adjust better if you split the relationship up. However, divorce is still one of the adverse childhood experiences that that does affect children.
Yeah, that's your first heartbreak as a kid.
It is. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's
Good point.
if it's the same now though.
Yeah.
I think in the past it was. I just wonder if it's the same now. Like
It
you said,
is.
they're able to adjust and able to still have, if the heartbreak part is real.
Yeah.
It might
But-
be worse now.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
You go from posting vacation photos, you, your sister, your mom, your dad. You posting it to social media. Y'all happy family. 2 years go by, you gotta delete all that stuff.
Yeah.
People,
And everybody knows.
everybody knows you take that next Thanksgiving photo and it's just half of your family. And it's like, damn, they broke up.
It's a good
They
point.
couldn't make
Yeah.
it.
It's a good point.
And then that same feeling that you feel like other people are thinking about you, you already feel like that as a kid. Like, damn, why my parents not in love no more?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I
a
agree.
Well, I
Anything-
think that part, I think
agree
all the kids would go
100%.
through that last part you said, but I do agree with you 100% in terms of because of the activity and everybody's posting the social media world. I do think it posed a bigger challenge because back in the day,
Right.
folk wouldn't even know.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
You just stop
Exactly.
seeing them go to church.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, I
Right.
see your dad in a
I
while.
just-
Right, right.
Yeah.
Great
He been
point.
working.
Because I moved
Yeah.
from New York to North Carolina. Nobody knew if I ever had a dad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They never saw the breakup. They just saw us come in as a unit the way we were. So that's a great point.
Yeah.
In
With
black,
social media
in black
today.
culture, like we accept seeing a mom and just her kids. Like it's not no questions asked because a lot of people come from that. So you see a mom and just her kids, you're not asking no questions about that. You're not asking where's your dad versus you're a black kid that lived in like a middle class or a suburban neighborhood, and then you move to another suburban neighborhood and you ain't got no dad, and all these other kids got dads. So they like, where's your dad? What is he doing? Is he on a business trip?
And I think a lot of that still plays a part in terms of that communication, though, because if you can leave on decent terms, if you leave on terms where you decide no matter, I don't care if you hate each other, you could be like, look, I hate you, you hate me, but for the sake of the kids, we're gonna make this transition as smooth as possible. You still need to do everything that you were doing if you were coaching the kids, if you were doing this, you were doing that, you need to do everything that you were doing. The only difference is at the end of the night, you're not gonna be sleeping here, or the female, she's not gonna be sleeping at the end of the night.
Right.
But I think you can do it where you do everything else the same. I think that's the transition that a child would need, so that it doesn't become, as opposed to
Just disappear.
disappearing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we hate each other so much. You can't come over. You can't do this. You stay. You know what I mean? Then you gotta go all to court. You know, just
And back then, that's what it was a disappearing act.
Yeah.
Back in our day.
And now that's what I was
going
gonna
to
say. That's a whole nother topic, right? Is that when the split up comes, and again, I'm choosing my words wisely. that sometimes one of the parent more than the other parent just decides they're not going to come around anymore. And that's the biggest.
That's a game changer.
I agree.
That's a game changer.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
That's what will crush the child.
Yeah. And I mean, again, I'm not trying to start anything, but a lot of times it's the man that just decides I'm not going to come around now.
No, that's not necessarily accurate. Because a lot of times it's the female telling the man you can't come around no more.
But
it's not a lot of times.
Well,
a lot of men want to still be a part of their kids' lives, but the parent, the mother, will make it so difficult that it becomes a fight.
Becomes personal.
Yeah, and now the man might step away because it's like, I just can't. I'm not gonna keep fighting with you because now all kind of stuff happened. Now we yelling, we arguing. Now the police show. Then all just all kinds of variables. So I just can't agree with that last statement.
wait a minute. So you saying that we didn't say why, right? You're saying why, but you're saying that a lot of times the
You made it
daddies.
seem as if the man just gonna walk away.
I did not. I said a lot of times. I know a lot of people that their
That's
daddies.
what a lot of times
I know.
mean.
I know a lot of time. I know a lot of families that their daddies were not around when their
But you
parents
don't
split
you don't
up.
necessarily know the whys behind it.
Right, and that's why I said that you're saying the wise, and I said there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying to you, even if you say, oh, okay, I don't agree with this. Statistically, do you see more mothers as single parents or fathers with the kids, and the mother does not come around? I'm just asking.
Well, the problem with that question is based on how the laws work, because like I know, the mother is going to get custody 9 times out of 10. The father has to fight for custody. The mother's just granted custody. The father has to fight for custody. There's a big difference.
You
understand that?
No, I don't understand it, and I'm gonna tell you why. Again, I'm from Kentucky, and a lot of men, even men in my family, they have their kids. So, like I tell men all the time, the child is just as much as yours. You have a right as much to the child as the woman does. So if you split up and you take your son with you or your daughter with you, there's nothing that woman could do.
Shit.
What?
No, we're not
It's
doing
a
this.
fact.
We're not doing this. We're
It's
not
a
doing
fact.
this, bro.
Unless you
Let me tell you
don't know
something.
the law, man. Until you go to court,
If
and she
you
says,
just up and
you-
walk out with your child,
there's nothing she can do
please
about it.
believe. Please, if you up and walk out with your child, Angela, one of your partners, say, you know what, I'm tired of this girl. Take the child, come to your house. If she called the cops, guess what the cops gonna do?
Nothing.
They come to your house and they getting that child and they taking them back home because home is where she's at. Period. Stop.
I'm telling you, I know the
I know
law.
you are.
I know the law as well.
So we go-
and I've been in these situations. I've been in these situations, and there is unless there's an order in place, if the two parents are together, and the daddy leaves and he takes the child with him, there's nothing that the mother can do.
The minute
unless there's
the minute they go, okay, you said there's nothing they can do. I disagree with that, right? And as a former police officer, and I don't know what happens in Kentucky,
okay.
but I know right here, they're gonna, wherever that child has been considered home is where that child is gonna go back to, and where that judge is gonna order them to until a custodial agreement is arranged,
Okay.
and that's a fact.
But here's what I'm saying. So you're telling me that in Georgia, if a father who he's married to this
Removes
woman,
that child from the home.
Hold on. If a father, he's married to the woman or he's in a relationship with a woman, and he says, I'm leaving, and he packs him and his son's bag, you're saying that a police officer will come, even though he's legally has as much right to this child as the mother, that a police officer will come and say, you got to give his child back? Or are you saying that he says, the child, I have nothing to do with this because y'all both, because that's what I'm saying, and that this is a civil matter that you would now have to go to court for, because it's not kidnapping when you do not have any type of court-ordered visitation schedule. And it's vice versa when you do have a court-ordered visitation schedule. If you have a schedule and you go to get that child and the mother does not, now she's in contempt, and the police officer can make her give you the
a
child.
court order.
But if you guys are together, that's like saying you see a man in a store with his child, and anybody can just be like, "Oh, where'd you get this child from? It's my son." All I'm telling you, I don't know what laws y'all got in Georgia, but in Kentucky, no. You
Yeah,
it
well,
is
you-
not
How many
kidnapping.
times?
It's
Let me
not
tell you
kidnapping.
what's gonna happen. What's the
Yeah.
little thing called? When your phone
I'm coming.
Amber
Anaya.
Alert.
I'm coming, Anaya. Be
you're
right
gonna
there.
get an Amber Alert if you
Quick.
pull that child out that house, and they're gonna say they believe the child left with the father, and this is what they're driving. This is what's gonna happen. You remove that child from that home. That's what's gonna happen.
The only
I'm just telling you what's gonna happen.
well, I've seen Amber Alerts for mothers, and it's because
if you remove them from the home,
I'm saying
you
here's
can't
what
just pull the child from the home. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
But yes, okay.
So is it
All
kidnapping?
I'm telling you in
Is it
Kentucky,
kidnapping?
it's not. That's what I'm trying to tell them.
Police
it
view, is it
technically is not going to be kidnapping because they are if they are married. If you're just a parent, if you're just a father and you're not married, it's going to be considered kidnapping.
So if your
Because
baby daddy
because
is
the mother
kidnapping.
custodial, that's correct. That's what's going to
Okay.
happen. That's what's going to happen.
That's
Because
crazy.
the mother's gonna be the custodial parent. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But
the mother's gonna always be considered the custodial parent. I'm
Not
telling
if
you.
you haven't been to court. Not if you have not been to court.
Okay.
I've been in
right.
family court for
right.
years.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
With family members and different
We
people.
just men.
All I'm saying, it might be Georgia. I'm saying that might be Georgia law. And if it's Georgia law, then Georgia law is messed up. Because legally, if we both made this child and there's no court order, the mother can come and get the child, or the father can come and get the child. If they go to the school, either one of them can legally pick that child up until there is a court ordered visitation schedule. That's all I'm saying.
A mother. I'm gonna tell you how powerful mothers are around here. A mother can doggone go to the school and register your child for school and decide to put on or remove the father as the person that can pick that child up. That's how powerful they are. I'm trying to tell you, a father has to fight for custody. A mother's granted custody. I'm trying to tell you, the father has to always fight for custody. The mother's granted custody. It's the way it works. It's just the way it works. It's just the way it works.
I'm just saying. Mm-hmm.
Unless married, legitimization is only determined by paternity.
Yeah.
So usually that's why a woman is usually given the kids off the bat because determined paternity because she had it, as opposed to
Yes.
the father has to usually take a
Yes.
test to prove legitimization of the kid. So usually they're gonna go to the
So
mother.
Dwayne
the father
said.
got to go do it.
So Dwayne said an important thing, that if the child has not been legitimized by the father, then if they're
what I
not
said
married, but I'm just telling you that the reason why I'm telling you that y'all laws may be different is because I know for a fact, I've seen it. I've seen where the mother tried to call on the father, and if he's on that birth certificate, the officer said there's nothing they could do because you don't own the child more than the father does. That y'all both have rights to this child. That's all I'm telling you. I'm
right.
saying that Georgia law could be different.
That might be Kentucky.
That's all I'm telling
trying
you.
to tell you. Do that jump right here if you want to.
Right. So I'm
trying to
saying, and I'm saying that if that's true, that's messed up because, like I said, in Kentucky, if you're on the birth certificate, it's not considered kidnapping. If you go get your child from school, now if you have a court order visitation and you go on a different day, now it's considered kidnapping. Or if you have it where they say you cannot go out of state with this child, now it's considered kidnapping. But any other time that you are in a relationship and y'all split up, I'm going to keep saying Kentucky. I'm telling you because I know for a fact, I've seen it. I've literally seen these girls, like you said, try to say somebody took the child, and when they say, is it the father? And the father has them, that's not kidnapping. So Georgia's just screwing y'all over. I'm just telling you. If the father, because both of them have a right. But once that court order visitation is put into effect, and let's even say the daddy has custody, if the mother goes and picks that child up, now it's an Amber Alert. Now it's kidnapping. And I've had a police officer, literally, I know for a fact that that's how they do that. I know for a fact.
I'm just telling you how it works around here.
Right.
Stop. Moving on.
Right. And that's messed up. And I feel like fathers are getting screwed over. Period.
Anaya, Let's get to your thing here. We are still living together. A lot of people still see us as together. I tell people I think we are okay, but then I find out later he's in other relationships.
Oh.
Then she makes a point here. We are not married. She said they definitely sleep in the same bed, but kind of live different lives. We mostly depend on each other. Daughter just turned 2. Son will be 4 tomorrow. Happy birthday, little guy.
That's fresh.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Vic said he believes it's more normalized today than back in the day. What, as in split up, Vic? Is that what you mean, or staying together? Kiki said her 15-year-old absolutely would not be able to handle me and his dad not being together. Now I said facts, it hurts. It hurts I can keep everything to myself, but it hurts when we can't get past the childish behavior on both ends. My mom nor my dad raised me. My grandmother did, and it was really hard.
Quick question. Do y'all think, like, from a man's point of view, do y'all think a man can outgrow cheating, or just that's not the right person if he keeps cheating on her?
That's a good question.
That's a whole topic though.
You ain't lying.
Can y'all please just say yes or no? I'm really wondering.
I say
that.
yes. For the right woman, I feel like a man can not cheat. It just got to be the right girl. What y'all think?
I mean,
I
sure,
believe that.
it's all individualized.
Yeah. I don't think it's a case across the board where men will outgrow cheating, or men will never cheat, or men cheat all the time. I don't believe it's across the board. It's individualized. It has to do with, I think a lot of it has to do with the upbringing. Sometimes when you get used to just getting it, you're used to just getting it. And sometimes you just keep getting it. And some people, they believe they grew up in a house where, they actually, there's a lot go into it, put it that way. I just don't like across the board statements like, everybody, that type
Well, we
thing.
know it's not everybody.
You don't. Stop.
I'm saying.
You say every man cheats. Stop.
I ain't never said every man cheats. I have never said every man cheats because I don't believe
Pull
every
the
man
clip
cheats.
from earlier.
Yeah, pull the clip. Pull the clip because I have never said no every man cheats.
So let me get back to the comment, because I ain't
Never.
gonna do this with you
I don't
tonight.
think y'all.
So
So
y'all
Anaya,
cheat.
I'm just curious with Anaya. Are you still trying to preserve your relationship with him? Because it's, I might be reading it wrong, but it sounds like you may still be trying to preserve this relationship, that's what's probably making it harder for you to make that decision. Are you trying to find the good somewhere? You know what I mean? And if it's because of, it's easier for y'all to raise the kids together, I get it. But, you don't want to do it to the point
like
where
you said,
it's damaging you up here.
And like you said, it's so new. I mean, it's new.
That's fresh.
4 and 2.
Yeah, that's fresh. And she
Yeah,
may
them
be
was baby
dealing with some
babies.
postpartum too.
Yeah.
A 2-year-old, you're still coming out of that postpartum,
Yeah.
and people don't talk about that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, definitely. I know you won't.
And you know what?
Don't even try.
I'm going to say this tonight. We're talking about this, with you. But I do believe that you need to actually seek some therapy on this,
Yeah.
and speak to somebody on this, because
Definitely.
none of us is going to tell you to leave or stay, because we don't want that responsibility. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
Right.
but hearing sometimes to hear it, because we speak about things that we know. Like I said, I knew somebody or whatever, but now we got somebody that's actually living it, so it's a little different. It like she said, it hits a little harder. But I would advise you to actually seek some help in regards to this, and have these conversations with somebody, a professional, so that you can better yourself to make a decision for you and your children. I honestly, I do believe this. We just spoke about that earlier. This is Mental Health Month. You letting all of this out right now tells us that you've been wanting to let this out.
To somebody.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? This tells us that you've been wanting to let this out. So, try and seek some help with that.
Some real help, not your girlfriends. Not,
Yeah,
not,
yeah. That's what I said. Professional help.
Yeah.
You know, talk to your girlfriends like talking to us. So,
I was gonna say though, she said that the 15-month-old wouldn't be able to handle it. Is that what she said?
Now Kiki's talking about a
15-year-old.
Oh, got you.
15-year-old.
Nine
Okay.
kids are 2 and 4.
Yeah, 2 and
Okay.
4.
So she has young kids. So she may,
Okay.
I understand. Probably may be afraid of the responsibility of trying to raise 2 young kids. That
Yeah, but that's
did the relationship change after the baby
well.
came
She
into
said
play.
there was some fighting too. I don't.
Look, hold up. Kiki said that's why if I ever get a divorce, my husband keeping the kids, so we not worried about him not
I know
being
that's
around.
right, Kiki. I know that's right, Kiki. Kiki, you said he gonna have to look for you, huh? He gonna have to look for you. Yeah, he's right. You definitely need to get some professional, and I would do it now because this is a big decision, especially while your children are younger.
Oh, here goes somebody else that went through something. We're not gonna get too much into it, but Vic, I know for a fact he went through this type of thing in North Carolina in regards to custody children and stuff like that.
I'm just saying I've been firsthand.
matter.
Like I said, I guess every state is different, and so if
What's up,
Georgia,
Frank?
if Georgia's like that, that's jacked. That's not right. Yeah.
Frank said, doesn't matter. The custodial parent is the mother. Absent a court order.
Can I tell y'all, whether y'all believe me or not, I know I have firsthand experiences with about 5 to 8 different guys that I know that is either family members on our friends that have custody of their children, and they've been to jail and all types of stuff. So again, Georgia may not be playing fair. Kentucky wants these kids to
did
have
they fight for them?
wants these. So let's just say this.
Did they go to court and have to fight for them? Or they just giving the kids?
Let me
yes
just
or
say,
no?
First of all, nobody is just giving the kids, period. When you break up, if the father, and that's why I was just telling somebody, if you as a father, you leave or you tell the woman she has to leave, and you're on a birth certificate and those kids are with you, it goes both ways. Both people, that's why when people get a divorce, both people are fighting for what they want when they get a divorce. So you get a divorce, both people are saying, I want the kids, no, I want the kids. Okay.
Where are the kids
so
while
if
they
the
fight?
fathers, so the women, most of the women that have the kids is because the daddy didn't have the balls to say, I'm taking these kids with me. Because you can take those kids with you. And secondly, or
Now
like
they-
you said,
Now she castrating men.
no.
You be killing them.
I'm
boy.
not castrating any
Didn't
man.
have the
I'm just
balls.
saying. All I'm saying is, daddies have rights, okay? So y'all, I'm saying daddies have rights. If you want your kids, act like you want your kids. Get your kids, and if the woman does not, then maybe you might have to take her to court. However, she has to fight. She still has to go to court and fight and say why she should have the kids as well. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yes, women, like he said, women are already deemed a parent because they carry the child. However, if the man is on record as the father, he has rights. And so don't think that the woman is automatically going to get him. You have Usher, you have Ludacris. There's other men that have said they want
had
their
to
children.
Fight for
And they
their
were
Stop saying
millionaires.
fight.
That's what
Stop-
it is.
What do you think
Listen,
going to court
fight.
is?
Here's what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying. Because what y'all saying, y'all trying to make it more than what it is.
No.
And
No,
here's
you
what I'm
trying to
saying.
make less of it.
Because no, I'm
Yes.
not. No, I'm not. Because listen what I'm saying.
Listening.
If one of them said, if you were living with the woman and you say, I want the kid, and you take the kid with you, then she would have to try to go get the kid back from you and take you to court. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying in Kentucky, it goes both ways. But a lot of times the man leaves and then he leaves the kids there. So now you got to go back and try, just like if you leave your house sometimes. in a divorce. They'll try to act like now you abandoned it. So that's what it looks like. But if when you leave, just like when women leave, if you put your kid on your hip and say, I'm gone, and you take that kid with you, now she has to prove that she's supposed to have the kid with her. That's all I'm saying.
She don't have to prove it.
All right. Again,
He has to prove it.
Again,
not
if that's
her.
the way y'all laws are made, that's the way y'all laws are made. But I'm telling you, just like what I sent you, it
Would you tell me show the same point that I tried to make to you?
It said the same thing that I said.
No,
that if there is no order,
Everybody understands no order.
that you don't have to
Say, but if there is no order, the mother's going to be granted. The mother's going to automatically be considered the custodial parent. If there's no order, the mother's going to automatically be considered the custodial parent.
Okay.
The father has to go and fight for the custody. The mother does not have to fight for the custody. So I'm trying to tell you, at the minute that she gets impregnated, all control of that child automatically goes to the mother. Automatically. The moment she gets pregnant, she's in control. Now a man has zero decisions at that point, and that's just facts. He can't tell you to keep it. He can't tell you to get. He can't tell you to do nothing.
That's true.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. So,
That's true.
So all of a sudden now,
But I'm
he got
talking about
some rights.
custody. But I'm talking about
It's the same thing.
Well, again, like I said, I don't know what y'all laws are in Georgia. That's all I'm telling you. I don't know what y'all laws are in Georgia. But once the woman puts,
in Georgia, the woman automatically gets tested. We, as far as get our rights from the court.
So that's all I'm trying to say, man.
In most states other than Kentucky, that's the same case.
Again, what I'm saying is a lot of men
Other than
don't.
Kentucky.
Here's what I'm saying.
A lot of men don't what?
Here's what I'm saying. I don't know what Georgia's law is, but I'm saying that some men do not know that it's not automatically goes to the woman. They just assume that, so they fall back. And all I'm saying is that's not automatically how it goes, because you can take your child and then she has to say, hey, I want my kid back from him. And then she has to petition the court if she wants to, or she can just chill and they can share this child. What happens is people don't want to share the baby, so now they have to go to court. There's a lot of people that say, okay, you can keep the baby 1 week and I'm gonna keep the baby 1 week, or however that works. There does not have to be one custodial parent that is getting child support or not getting child support.
Only way you even have a chance of what you just said is if you're married and you were living in that same household. That's the only way that even remotely becomes a factor. Other than that, the woman automatically has custody.
Okay.
Period. I mean, I'm just telling you, if married, the only way you even have a fighting chance initially. Now you can go to court and you can apply, for joint custody or whatever the case may be. You can try to get be the custodial parent. In the meantime, you have to be able to show your financials. You got to be able to show this. You got to do it. The man got to jump through hoops. The woman ain't got to do nothing but say, I'm mom. That's it. And this is how it works. This is how the court system works. Like Topic said earlier, this is the court system in America. This is how it works. The woman automatically has the rights. The minute she gets impregnated, she's in control. No. And you got to fight from that point on. That's reality. That's why a lot of men leave. A lot of men. We know there's a bunch of sorry guys. Nobody's gonna ever say there's not. But there are a lot of men who didn't want to leave their kids. But that fight with her was just way too much. Just reality.
Yeah, the kid became a pawn.
The kid became a pawn.
That's it. Became personal.
That's facts.
So I lived this situation, and all I can tell you is this: I told my ex that you chose her, so you do what you have to do to take care of your children, and to have a relationship with your children, because you don't let a woman come in between your relationship with your kids, because this is a choice that both of you made, and if she's ratchet, then you're gonna have to figure out how to go around her. And if you have to use the court system, then you use the court system.
But listen what you just said, though. But listen what you just said.
Do not give up on your kids.
But listen to what you just said.
Yeah.
That's all fighting. That's the fight that we have to fight. It's still a fight. However you look at it, it's a fight, because you have to do this. You got to go around. It's still the hoops. It's still a fight that men have to fight. Not saying it's wrong or right, but that is, as far as I know, other than Kentucky. That's where
I'm just saying, if you don't ask, you're not gonna get it. That's all I'm saying. It may or may not be a fight. If you don't say, I want my child this many days out of the week or whatever, or if you don't say I want the baby with me, then you don't know this. If you just automatically leave and leave her with the responsibility, you do have some bitter women, okay, that are gonna make you suffer or try to use a child against you. And those are the women that get their children taken away. I've been in court before where the mother came out and she was crying, and the grandparents had took her to court because she was not letting them see the child. The daddy was locked up, and the court gave the grandparents custody of that child.
Full custody.
So all I
Probably
know is when they
temporary.
walked out of court, they gave her the grandparents had custody of she was crying.
I get it.
out.
They-
So-
all
But
those-
that-
all those
it was a
things
fight
apply.
though.
so I'm just saying.
It was a fight.
But okay.
That's all we saying.
Okay, here's all I'm saying. What I will agree with is that, like you said, after you get her pregnant, now it's her decision. It's the man's decision first who gets their baby, but after you give her the baby, now it's her decision. If you are not living with this woman or married to this woman, now you have to prove that this baby is yours. So if you have to prove
Good night,
that this child is yours, yeah, now you going into a whole, like you said, a legal process of doing that, right?
And who's in control during this time?
Nobody's. What do you mean? Who's in control?
Where's the baby?
If they don't know if the baby's yours, then you gotta wait to see if the baby's
So
yours.
who has custody then?
Her.
What's the next
prove,
topic, man?
until you prove that the baby's yours.
This is my okay, and then you still got to fight from that point on.
And wouldn't you want to find out? Because
Yeah,
half the
but-
time
but
these
my-
kids
but
ain't
my-
even
my-
ours.
What we trying to tell you? You
No, I'm
be
just
so
playing.
busy trying to and I.
No, I'm just saying.
But what
I'm
we
saying
telling you
daddies
is it's
have
a
rights.
fight. We're not saying that we
Okay.
don't have rights, but to
All
get
right.
those rights, you got to fight
Okay.
for them.
That's
That's all we was trying to tell
Okay,
you.
so here's what. So
No,
here's
no,
what
no,
I-
no, 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 no,
So
no,
here's
no,
what
no,
I
no,
wanna
no, no,
know.
no. We're gonna stop. We'll stop
What's
right there.
wrong with fighting
We
for
stop.
your
We
kids?
gonna stop right there.
What's wrong with
So
fighting
listen,
for
we're
your
gonna take
kids?
a break.
Nothing is wrong. Just point the facts.
Okay.
Yeah, we
That's
just
all.
telling you that you
Okay.
have to do it. You was acting like you ain't got to fight. Just take them.
No, no. I still
Put them in
stand
the car
behind
and drive off.
What I still stand behind it. I'm not saying take them out of state, not let the mother have them, or not let the mother see them. I'm saying you have just as much right. And so all I'm
Just
telling
saw it,
you
Frank.
is that in Kentucky, if you are
Oh,
on that birth
Kentucky, yeah.
certificate and there is no court order, you can pick your kids up from school. She can call the police all day long, and the police will say, "Is that the father? Is there order in place?"
And
If there's no order,
and look,
there's nothing the mother can do.
Get what she can say. Nope, he ain't the father.
And guess what? They
And
gonna
then
drive
she gotta
off.
prove it. And then if
gotta-
they,
you
But
prove
she
it.
got to prove it when.
you right.
court.
No.
Boom.
No.
But what's gonna happen? But what's gonna happen right now though?
No,
That
that's
count-
not
say what
true.
it is.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. If they go to the father's
Told you to
house,
leave. You kept
if they
talking.
go to the father's house, if they go to the father's house and he shows that he's on the birth certificate, there's
That
nothing.
don't make you the father.
But again, I agree with you, Lo. If a woman's gonna be dirty and lie, okay, then you do have a whole other problem. So I mean, I totally
Which puts the
agree with
control-
that.
Which
But
puts
if
the
she
control under who, Jose?
again,
But puts the control.
it
She ain't gonna say
gives, it gives her
She ain't gonna
control.
say
It gives her
That's all
control
I'm trying
if
to
she's
say.
a liar.
So this gives her control.
And
period.
if she's gonna lie,
It gives her control.
okay?
Period. Is
The,
my
the baby
point.
does come out of her snatch, so yes, okay.
He said for some reason I want some Kentucky Fried Chicken.
That girl is a Kentucky Wildcat through and through. She's a Wildcat boy.
Hilarious.
If nobody's gonna wear that Kentucky flag,
Mama's baby, Papa's maybe. Got a whole phrase on it, don't it,
Oh, yeah.
Vic?
always,
A whole phrase on it, man. What we talking about?
always.
man.
But listen, we're gonna
Kiki said men ain't got
We're gonna-
no GD
we're gonna
rights,
take a,
period.
we're gonna take a short break, and then we're gonna come back and we. Oh boy, this gonna get interesting because y'all know that the diddler got sentenced this past, was it Friday? Friday, yeah, got sentenced on Friday. So we're gonna speak on that a little bit once we get back. But Anaya, again, I've seen some other people where she said after both of my parents died, I don't want my kids to go through that. Did meet my parents, so I was older.
Y'all need to have a conversation now. You need to have you need to be able to have a real sit down conversation with him and just figure out which route y'all need to take. What's gonna be best.
You
But you-
sound like
but-
you need to figure out which route you're gonna take.
Yeah.
Which route she's gonna take.
Yeah, I agree with that. But
Yeah.
hopefully y'all can have a mature conversation with him as well, and just figure out the direction you're gonna go. But you got to be able to
Yeah,
decide whether or not you still trying to stay in this relationship.
Yeah, because
that's the part I'm not sure if
we can
if
read
it-
the
if
struggle. Go ahead.
If you're unhappy, the other thing is you have to decide if you want your children to see you like that.
Facts. 'Cause they're gonna see it.
So again, you're fighting something within yourself. Do I leave? Do I stay? I don't want my kids to see this. Again, please seek therapy to make sure that you have a conversation with yourself so you can figure out what's best for you or your kids. Real quick break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to get into the...
real quick, just quick 60 seconds.
The Diddy thing. So let's reboot it real quick. We'll be right back.
Ready to find a studio that matches your podcast vision? Located inside Uptown Comedy Corner, our studio just 5 minutes from Atlanta's airport has everything you need. From high quality equipment to multi-camera setups for live streaming, we've got it all. With 15 plus years of experience, our team ensures smooth sessions with editing and post-production services at an additional cost. Plus, our competitive pricing make it easy for creators of all levels. Contact us at 404-500-1605.
All right, y'all, we back. Again, Anaya, if you are watching, please, again, make sure that you seek some therapy on that. And as Angelo said, try and have that grown-up conversation. So, as I said, a federal judge sentenced Sean Diddy Combs to 4 years and 2 months in prison Friday afternoon, telling the disgraced mogul that his crimes were serious, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel for him. Combs has been jailed in a federal detention facility in Brooklyn, New York, since his arrest in September of last year. Was facing up to 10 years in prison for each of the 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution that he was found guilty of in July. He was convicted of transporting 2 of his former girlfriends to have sex and pay male escorts at drug-fueled nights called freak-offs or hotel nights. Now, he did get the, 60 months, right? 60 months, but he served 12. So it's a 48. He served 14, so it's a 46-month sentence that he has left then. 36? That's it? Oh, wow. I thought he had 4 years.
You got 3 years left.
So he got, okay, got you. So,
You got 50 months. You did 14.
got 50 months, not 60. Got 50. I said it was 60. Okay. Now, one thing I saw that tripped me out is that he actually had scheduled some bookings in Miami, Florida for like next week or the week after. And the word got out in regards to that. And the judge actually mentioned that in his sentencing in regards to saying that he wasn't taking the stuff serious enough, all this type of stuff. I know that his kids got up and they gave a plea, hoping to get the judge to show leniency, that type of deal. But what do you think for the charges, not for all the stuff that he was thought to have done, but for the charges that he had, do you think that the sentence was right?
I'm gonna let
How do
y'all
you get
answer.
charged for transporting prostitution but not get charged for engaging in it? Even if you fund the whole ordeal. That's my question. Because he got charged with transporting prostitutes, but he was not charged with engaging or conducting or orchestrating the freak-offs. Was justice served?
Thank you.
Is pimping even against the law anymore? Have y'all heard of a pimp being arrested?
No, it's digital
Yes, I
pimping.
have.
They're
Yeah.
pimping
I'm
themselves.
still
It's
here.
digital. There's not an in-person pimping no more.
Okay,
It's just advertising.
so maybe that's why he didn't get charged, because his wasn't digital; it was in person.
It was in person. And there was no trace. It's just I heard they did this, and you see the aftermath of Cassie.
Hey man, I ain't gonna say that she's one of the luckiest women in the world, because she did go through an ordeal. But boy, she came off of.
I heard she had a husband.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, I think what was her
some
settlement?
kids.
30 million. I think
20.
$20 million. Yeah.
But can you put a price on pain
Apparently you can.
and
Wow.
disrespect
They put she put a price on it.
and abuse? I'm saying it's not gonna buy your happiness. It's gonna buy her some therapy.
Hey. Again, this is all individualized. She put a price because that's what she sued for.
Right.
She put a price on it.
Okay. I agree.
Let me ask you this: would you rather if something hypothetical, you in Cassie's situation, would you rather that he go to prison or you get the $20 million?
Both.
I didn't ask that. I asked you, would you rather he go to prison or you get the $20 million? One or the other.
The thing is with civil actions, with criminal cases, just like what happened, they might not get found guilty, and there's less evidence that you have to bring for a civil case. So, in my opinion, men really value their money over a lot of things in this life. A lot of men value money. So if I think that that's going to hurt him as much as it hurt me, then maybe.
I don't think men value money over freedom, though.
But that's the point, though. I think I agree with you. Well, I don't know, because I know a lot of people that will still do stuff knowing they're going to get locked up. I don't know. But what I will say is that, again, going back to what I'm saying, they might not be found guilty, like he wasn't even found guilty, right?
So that means there can't be a price put on it? That's why I asked
I
you
mean-
that, because it's either one or the other. Either you put a price on it, or, and let's say we know that he's going to jail. So which would you rather have, the money, or him go to jail?
Now, me personally, if
Yeah.
I think that the person would get prosecuted and get enough time, I would choose that.
Okay.
To be honest,
Okay.
if a person did the stuff that she said he did, and I knew that he would get the time, I would choose that over the money.
Okay. Sunshine.
Because I'm always make money.
Yeah, I would want him to be put away for good, but I'm not really with the whole prison system anyway. So I take the money and then I have some undisclosed thoughts, you know?
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Hey, we need to check on Frank in the chat. He said free R. Kelly. We need to check on Frank. We need to check with
Frank. Frank, and I know you probably saw that videotape. You know, as somebody's kid, okay? Even if it's just one act.
But the mom and daddy didn't care. So why should I?
Wait,
Y'all
I'm
not
just
right.
playing.
The parents might not be.
for real, no.
If
Look,
somebody is peeing,
back to how Lowe said, these
don't you think
trifling
she gonna
women.
move? Alright.
The mama might not have been right, okay? The mom and the daddy might be jacked up. Okay. Yeah.
oh my
I
God.
really feel like the sentence on Diddy was only so light due to how they orchestrated that breakdown when they was doing that back and forth in the trial with Cassie. His Diddy lawyers made it seem like she consented to everything. It was no convincing. But when somebody's giving you $10,000 or however much a month to do whatever they say, it's like that was the convincing part. The
Well,
money, the power.
Well, that was
the
second
persuasion.
girl. That was the second girl. With Cassie, you know, we okay, yeah, I'm not gonna get. They know how I feel about it. Cassie, they proved that he was beating her ass and chasing her down every time she tried to leave. Like that was just proven that he was finding her. That he was.
Proven one time, but go ahead. Go ahead. You didn't say every time. All these.
They had pictures of They had pictures of abuse. There were too many people that actually said that yes, they saw him beat her in front of them. You know, so.
You said what he's convicted of. And
Right. Well, I'm just saying he was talking about the case, and I was just letting them know that it wasn't just the 10,000, because the 10,000 was this. I actually felt like that last witness messed up the case. I personally felt that way because she was still dealing with, you know, which was 50 Cent's ex. That's who I think it was, and she was still receiving money from him. So I felt like it weakened the case for Cassie, right, with all the stuff that Cassie endured. When this girl was just taking money, right? Even though she still felt like she was coerced or what have you. But when I literally read what human trafficking was, it was still everything that he was doing, even him controlling her career, right? You know.
That's a deeper level to the human trafficking, because it's like, look, I'm going to also sign you. Now you can't go nowhere contractually.
Yeah.
So you my girl on paper and you my girl in the bedroom.
But
Yeah.
in the beginning,
Yeah.
through the initiation of their knowing each other, there has to be some type of agreement or consent or respect level and boundaries that an individual carry. You know, you can always turn around in the beginning when you sense those red flags and walk away.
When
Before
money
it
gets
gets
involved,
too deep.
morals go out the window.
When money gets
Okay,
involved,
wait.
morals go out the window for
So
some
that's what I was gonna ask.
individuals,
In
not
regards
everyone.
to morals going out the window.
Right. For some
If
people.
your morals go out the window, does that make the other person at fault?
Like, no.
Yeah, because they're a manipulator.
No.
They know that.
But you
Every time-
accepted the
bro,
manipulation.
Every time that we talk to a woman, we manipulate them.
Expand on that.
When you out and you hollering at a chick or whatever, you talking to her, you're manipulating her to like what you are
How many
giving.
times you heard one of your boys say, "Hey, babe, I'm gonna change your life. Get with me, I'm gonna change your life."
Right.
That's the number one lie.
Huh?
That's the number one lie. That's one of the main ones.
So what are you saying about all those people then?
The girls that get
What was different from that and what he did based on what you just said?
Oh, goodness.
He did it. he changed people's life, but it wasn't for the betterment of their own life. Changing your life and making you a slave is not changing your life.
Come on. Making them a slave.
Slave.
Thank you, brother.
You're missing my point, though.
Making them a slave.
How is it making them a slave if they accept
They don't
it?
accept. Right.
If they accept it, now you're saying she was bought and paid for.
Yeah. She was trafficked.
She was trafficked.
Well, she trafficked herself. She signed herself up.
Which one is it?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
So my thing is this: if a person agrees to do something for a fee, no matter how nasty it is, what it is because they agreed to it. Does that take the trafficking part away from it?
No, it just make it consensual.
Yeah, I think it does.
Well,
I do. I think it does.
if it's
Angela, I
thing
feel like you
is-
got something. I want to know. I really want to know. I want to know the breakdown.
I'm trying to wait. That's all.
the
I'm
thing
trying
is,
Yeah.
here's what
Y'all
I
just
will
eat me
say.
up. I'm trying to hold.
Here's what I will say. And if a lot of people do not understand abuse, and so that's why they don't like, they know that that's a sore spot for me, because I've worked in shelters for years. I've volunteered in shelters, in domestic violence shelters for years. And so to understand how your brain is affected when somebody, especially the caliber of Diddy, and someone that is your boss, and you're 19 and he's this age, and all the manipulation that comes with the abuse, your choices are taken away. And I think that men understand if they think about their mothers being in these type of situations where they're with abusive people, and it's not as easy as it looks like to walk away because they're so damaged. However, when they look at Cassie and they see millions of dollars, men want to downplay the fact that she could still be in an abusive situation where her mind is not thinking straight, where she is addicted to this behavior that has been going on in this relationship, because it has changed her brain chemistry. There's science behind the idea of abuse. That's why you even see people that have been stuck in situations for years, and you try to get them out of it, but their self-esteem is so low. These people are suicidal when they've been in relationships for a long time, suffering immense abuse. And I get it that a lot of men don't understand it, because some men, there's more women in those situations sometimes than there are men. So I get it. They feel like all you got to do is walk away. And sometimes a person is not mentally able to walk away. Or even in her case, every time she got the courage to walk away, she was either beat down or he found her. He had other people go get her. He was cutting off her resources, took money from her mother, tried to do something to Kid Cudi. Like, every time she tried to get out of that and get help, there was no one there to catch her. And that is the main thing about abuse. No one is there to help you out of that situation.
What are you basing that on?
I'm basing it on, I've worked in shelters.
No. You just described Cassie's situation. What are you basing that on? What are you basing it on? Nobody was there to help her. What are you basing it on?
Because anytime you are in a room full of people and somebody's beating you, even on one of them where they said she had her leg up in the air when she was on that plane, and nobody gets up and tells Diddy, stop. That tells you right there, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's going to. If you was in here kicking my ass and nobody moved, and this happened every time, then eventually I'm going to understand that there's nobody that's going to help me. And even if I run to my mother's house, he's going to be there. He's going to show up at my mother's house, and he's going to get me there. So at some point, you're beating somebody into compliance. And
Okay.
if you don't get that, I don't know what to say.
So here's the thing. The charge that he was found guilty on was the question, right? Jose is trying to retry the whole case. All right, we're talking about the topic was the charges, and was the sentencing just? All right, now if you look at what he was convicted on, there is no one in the history of the state of New York, the whole trial system ever had a sentencing beyond a year based on what he was actually convicted of. Not what everybody's own personal opinion. We're talking about the actual charge that he was actually convicted on. There's not no 5-year charge sentencing for that. There is no history of it. There's no basis from it. So what this judge did was take his own personal opinion, his own moral whatever, and whoever made the phone call to him to say we're gonna give him 5 years because now. This is what I hate about situations like this, because there's another guy, I can't remember his name, I'm trying to find it.
Child molestation?
8-year-old child.
6 months.
And a $50,000 fine for raping an 8-year-old child.
That's what he got.
But we're saying, how much fight did that child have? Where was that child's fight at? Who did that child have to run to? How many times? Huh? For 4 years. How many times we had these cases over and over and over again, but yet we are
Biased.
completely satisfied with this guy getting 5 years for so-called whatever it was of a grown woman who's made multiple decisions, who had more than enough opportunities to leave. She was paid handsomely for it. She was conductor of a number of these freak offs. You know what I mean? She had we can say all this stuff, man, but I've said before in many of these cases, if you're damaged beyond belief, such as you're presenting, my first move would be, I want this person convicted. I want to press charges against this person. I want him to go to jail. My first move is not, I want $30 million. That's not the first move. The money should be an afterthought. The first move should be, I want to get this person off the streets. If he's as bad as you just described, then her first move should have been jail. It shouldn't have been, I want the money. And that's what this is based on. This is based on money. It's based on money. You know what I mean? Nothing more, nothing less. They went after this guy with all these federal charges, trying to do RICO. And now all that junk, and we said it right here on this podcast when they first charged RICO, that junk is BS. Ain't no RICO charge here. We said it from the giddy up. This ain't a RICO case. What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? What? This is about you always follow the money. And so based on the actual charges that he was convicted of, this sentencing is extremely high. It's extremely high. And so, yeah, they thought maybe he'd get a year's at this point. Maybe. We knew it was going to be a good chance he's going to get jail time. Now, the people who were doing those bookings, that wasn't necessarily P. Diddy doing the bookings. That was people who reached out to his people to say, if he gets out, we want to book these things. So what business person going to say, well, no. You know what I mean? They gonna entertain an offer, but that's all that was. It was nothing more, nothing less. But the actual charge he was convicted for, the sentencing was extremely high. That's just reality based on the history of it.
Yeah, Combs.
And the fact that we sit here and watch people rape kids and get nothing. Get slaps on the hand.
Half of those judges are pedophiles. They just found one of the judges just recently. What was that? What case was that he was just over? Gosh, I had to find it.
They don't get a $500,000 fine in 5 years.
But that's my point. That if they're pedophiles, they don't give it. They don't give a damn.
Raped all them kids for all these.
They don't give a damn.
What happened to them? They just relocated them somewhere else. What happened to all them for the raped all them kids at the Boy Scouts? What happened to them? You know what I mean? What happened to all this sex trafficking they caught?
What about all the kids that go missing coming into the United States? 300,000.
Yeah, the lawyer Xavier Donaldson, he said that he'd arranged engagements for Combs to begin teaching inmates as he started doing it in the detention center in recent months. A director of a Miami nonprofit that helps convicted citizens reenter society also said at the hearing that he hoped to work with Combs to expand his leadership and business curriculum. It is unclear where Combs will serve his prison sentence, but the judge said he hopes Combs will continue working with his fellow inmates.
But I feel like this case
I
was
wouldn't work
judged
with him
the
at
way
all.
it was because of all the media that surrounded it. They couldn't give him a light sentence. You get what I'm saying? Giving him a light sentence wouldn't be just to all the outrage that was caused versus them just upright silencing Jeffrey Epstein.
But understanding how the court system is supposed to work, there's sentencing guidelines, and the sentencing guidelines are supposed to go based on previous history of sentencing. That's what it's supposed to get. He was basically convicted of prostitution, bro. That's what he's convicted of. Prostitution. How many people you know got 5 years for prostitution?
That's why I just asked.
That's what we're saying.
Is pimping still a crime?
I'm saying we trying to recharge the whole case is one thing. You know what I mean? But we're talking about what the actual conviction was. The conviction was prostitution. It wasn't beating her up. It wasn't all these things that Jose was just mentioning. That's not what he was convicted of. He was convicted of prostitution. You got 5 years for prostitution. Come on. That's what I'm trying to say. The sentencing guidelines would have been a year based on the history of that particular sentence in that state. It's not 5 years. That's all I'm saying. So, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's why people try to make cases because they like based on the sentencing guidelines. There's no history of a 5-year sentence. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
and you're right, Frank. Now, hold on. You're right, Frank. I don't have daughters, and I've never once said the man. I've said from day one, the man is a creep. Period, point blank. I've never justified anybody abusing a female in any shape, form, or fashion. Never will I do that. I don't do the hand stuff. I don't put my hands on them. I don't agree with none of that BS. You know what I mean? So I'm strictly talking about the basis of the case. Nothing more, nothing less. Just the basis of the case. So I respect what you're saying, and I said he was a creep. I said R. Kelly was a creep. You know what I mean? I said all these folks did. They did take advantage. They used their power for what they did, for what they got away with. 100%. But I just hate when we take our people and we got to get the harsher stuff, but we sit here and watch other people get nothing and there's no outrage about it. That's what I get frustrated by. And everybody's okay with that junk. We just let it go, but we want to come down hard on our folks. That's why I always have a problem with.
I forgot the name of the guy. I was driving when I heard about the guy with the 6 month sentence for the child molestation. I forgot his name, but that happened recently, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that happened recently.
Yes.
Was it in New York?
Nah, it wasn't in New York, but it's just.
Well, y'all hate when I say this, but why would y'all expect a crooked system? Well, I mean, why do y'all keep expecting a crooked system to all of a sudden be a system that's not crooked?
I don't. That's why I said a minute ago.
Okay.
I just get frustrated when we
accept it, and we don't use that same energy and that same venom to go after and call out what they get away with. You know what I mean? That'd be my issue. He for what he got convicted of. That's all. I just try to stick with the actual basis of the cases. That's it.
But I mean,
his attorneys did their job. His attorneys did their job by getting him those charges. And
I think on the appeal they're gonna get another judge, and there's a good chance he's gonna get that sentence reduced. I think it's a really good chance he's gonna get it reduced because the Senate based on the sentencing guidelines, because that's what they're supposed to base things on. You know what I mean? That's what they're supposed to base things on, the sentencing guidelines.
45, 47 may come out and let him out anyway.
It's possible.
But I think when you say you hate when we do that and don't say anything, I hate when we go hard for people that we know are wrong instead of these people that have been wrongly convicted and that are facing charges or what have you. I feel like those are the people that we need to be standing behind and talking about and reporting and having conversations about.
But those don't make the news.
Instead of these people but a lot of them do make the news.
You don't know if they're innocent or guilty is what I'm saying. You don't know where it stands because we don't get enough information for those kind of cases.
Right. The Diddy case became a societal trend type thing, where it's a lot of energy put towards it for our people and everybody else in the world to see. So, like, it becomes biased. The judge was biased. Everybody's biased with their own personal individual opinions. But I don't know. Like, I don't know the half of what they done been through and what, how can I speak on, But, yeah.
But I'm saying, I agree with you, but it's always going to be bias, right? We've been facing this. Like, I think I told you guys, it's 80, I want to say 90, I might have these numbers mixed, but it's either 90% of people that go to court plead guilty. When they go for felony charges, 90% of black people plead guilty. if they don't plead guilty, 80% of them get found guilty. So it may be vice versa. It may be that 90%. So we're already treated unfairly. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Diddy, I don't even want to say whether Diddy deserves whatever. I don't even want to go there. What I will say is I just personally, he's cringy to me for him to be the poster child of being treated unfairly when we have so many people that are going to court daily and have been arrested, have been did 30 years in jail, and they're not guilty. And we don't fight for those people. We don't talk about those things or even try to like dig into them a little bit more so that we can stand for those people. Because I'm all for standing for Black people. I'm all for standing for our community and helping our community. I'm not racist or anything like that, but I do think that we need a little bit more help and a little bit more attention to the things that affect us, for especially the people that don't have millions of dollars. That's why I don't have any pity for him. He's got millions of dollars.
So here's my rebuttal to that is the fact of, because, you know, we have a society where, you know, they try to break us, right? And how do you break us? You break us by, if you can't get us individually, there you go. And you make examples. And that's what they do. They're making examples. They say, we'll go get your guy. We'll get the person that you guys like, and we'll bust them. We'll break them.
Bill Cosby.
So now that makes everybody else be like, oh, snap. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what that system is made for, man. You know what I mean? Again, Diddy did a lot of bad things. Ain't no question. No question. Is he a good person? Probably. But I just think the sentencing is just unjust based on what he was convicted of.
Right, that is true.
Period, point blank. Just what he was convicted of. I just think the sentencing is unjust.
And I want to add to you when you said they like to make examples out of your leaders. They've been doing that for years.
Forever.
Michael Jackson.
Government psyops. They're going to make an example. They're going to do a coup. They're going to take somebody out of power and put who they want in power, right? So we got to realize that when these assassinations is happening, when these high public figures is going to jail, when these suicides is happening, realize that they're trying to protect more than just that person in the situation, but all the people connected to that person.
Right. Because one Diddy finna buy a big company, like when Bill Cosby was finna buy NBC.
Diddy got exploited because he sued a major
the pharmacy.
company. No, that liquor company from London, England. It's the home of them. That's when they tried to sue them. You know,
Ciroc,
and that's when the people that was kind of protecting him took their hands off of him. They're like, oh, you mess with the
mess with the wrong people.
You mess with the kingdom over there, and you know what I mean. That's who owns that stuff. People over there in London. Yeah. You gotta fight. You gonna read them comments, JT? 'Cause you gotta some of them anyway. Before we.
Yeah. Those hangings have me shook.
Number one fan. Oh, wait a minute.
21-year-olds.
Okay, she's on somebody else's computer. All right, she said, now on this particular topic, all those parties were grown, and there are police stations everywhere. If Cassie was so threatened, you mean to tell me she couldn't head to the cops? From number one fan again, we need to stop making excuses for grown folks. You don't get your ass beat, then get up and go to an award show or plan a wedding.
Oh, Lord.
From number one fan, I feel more for young kids being abused.
All abuse is wrong.
Exactly.
Kiki said, so she seen millions of dollars and nothing else mattered after that. Number one fan, I don't mean to be mean per se, but his kids look like they're all spaced out. Look like they're all spaced out. Mama come out looking like Cousin It. Just saying.
Mama?
Yo, his kids look just, them twins look just like Diddy. It was crazy when I saw the pictures of them. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Let's see. Frank said he agrees with Sunray.
Thank you.
This was the number one fan. This was all orchestrated. This was about prostitution. The only reason he got done in was the video, not prostitution. You've already answered what Frank said. always follow the money is what number one fan said. Kiki said, I got 5 years probation for aggravated assault and attempted murder, and this man gets 4 years for transporting an adult. The sentence is unjust.
Kiki, you a beast. Kiki, I need to meet you.
From number one fan, it was
Hey.
not him booking. People need to stop believing the social media BS. Frank said, fuck the basis of the case. I ain't okay with any of them getting off. All of them should get time. Number one fan, whether you have a son or daughter, it is wrong. Remember the movie Antoine Fisher. And wait a minute. Kiki said, I think his name was Robert Morris,
One who
who got the 6 months. Real quick, Kyron Lacey, young man, great football player for the LSU Tigers, got caught up in a situation where he was charged with vehicular manslaughter, I think it was. A couple other charges or whatever. Went to a grand jury. They indicted him. So the charges was on him. He ended up committing suicide. This was 6 months ago, about 6 months ago. The kid was, he's a receiver from LSU. All of them go on the first day. The kid was set to be drafted. After this happened, everybody took him off the draft boards. He didn't get invited to the combine to show his talents. So draft was done for him. All this because he was charged. He committed suicide, and then it came out recently that he could not have been the person that caused the accident because he was behind the accident. I don't know if people just remember what his car looked like and they just went with that because it was a Dodge Charger or a Challenger, one or the other. But basically, he was basically convicted before he was proven, before his court date. He was basically guilty before he was innocent. So what do you think about that, Amber? Because supposedly there were police officers that were at the scene supposedly coercing witnesses to point towards him. In regards to something like this where somebody forcefully puts a bad narrative out or actually put charges on people, do you think and then they find out that those charges were not true, do you think that there should be repercussions for those people? Even in something like rape or sexual assault? What man, woman, whatever. If somebody, throws that out at you, if a woman or man says somebody, let me change that. If a woman says a man raped her, he's done. He loses whatever it is he got. He's gonna lose it. If he's found innocent, everything he lost is gone. When stuff like this happens, and even if it's not in a court of law, let's just say that the female or person that brought the charges comes out and says, you know what, I was bugging, it didn't happen. Should there be repercussions for that person?
Yes. Well, I believe that if you go to court and you prove that person lied when it comes to some of those cases, I think aren't there some laws where you can?
Sure,
you
can.
defamation
But the
and
problem with this
something else?
case is you got a police officer who was coercing them.
Yeah.
So
Which makes it even worse.
right. Well, Trump then they gave them immunity, right? Or no? Is that wrong?
Nothing has been signed, but that's what their goal is, to give them immunity. But they're taking this stuff already to the next level as it is. So we see how that's playing out. But it's unfortunate. That the kid felt the pressure. There was so much pressure on him that he took his life, and it sounds like some of this could have been resolved, or at least some ray of hope for him. But naturally, all this stuff comes out after the kid's already gone. Yeah. So, what's gonna happen to that officer? Probably absolutely nothing. You know, because you know why? It's gonna just go away.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what happens with us. Stories just go away.
Dissipate.
It's on tape. There's definitely a tape out from his body cam where he is trying to coerce the victim. I mean, the witness, I'm sorry, to say that it was the green car. And once they looked at the videotape, I think they said it was 90. He was 93 yards away.
Yeah, he was way,
93
and he was
and 7.
behind them.
Yes.
And, even if he was in front
Yeah.
of them, he could say he caused it, but he was behind them, so he couldn't have caused it type of deal. I know that you
Yeah,
lived down
92.
in that area a little bit. What's your thoughts on it?
I definitely feel like, and it's not so much Louisiana State Police or even the parish police, but definitely the campus police be trying to find their footing, and they look for the next big case. And especially in society today, all you need is the allegation. We seen that with Shannon Sharp. All you need is an allegation. You don't really need no proof nowadays to say something about somebody. And whether you get canceled in the court of law, you're going to be canceled publicly. You're going to be canceled by your peers, by your friends, if it's not looking good for you. Now, if you're an honest person and you really didn't commit no act and, everything plays out God's will and you are found dismissed, found not guilty, you still have to answer to those charges when getting a job.
Yeah.
Why was this allegation even brought up against you? It says you was dismissed, but you want to volunteer at your kid's school, right? So tell me why it got dismissed and how you got in that situation. We know it's dismissed, but we want to know what happened in the situation. You're going to have to revisit that situation every time you're trying to take that next step in your life.
System is crazy. System is crazy. Number one fan, the police had the video that he didn't commit the crime. They kept this video for months. Nightcap covered this extensively the other night. His parents are suing.
It's a
Number
little
one
late for that,
fan.
right? They should have been started that.
Said he actually went around the accident after it happened. Kiki said, Frank said locked him up right next to Diddy. It's criminal. Just think of its results of someone committing suicide. You can't take that back.
Man,
Man, it's a sad case.
Yeah, that kid was the next one, man.
It's a sad
yeah,
case.
Lacey, number 2 for LSU. He was the next one coming out of LSU. So,
Was that a campus body cam? A campus police officer body cam?
that I
don't
don't.
think so.
I don't know.
It was on the roadway, so cameras don't do that.
Okay.
And I hate to say this. I'm gonna try to pick the right words. I mean, jail does not mean it's the end of your life, right? I mean, I'm not saying that it's not a terrible thing to have to go to prison, but prison would not mean that it was just like the end of everything for him to, without even going to trial to see what was going to happen.
Do you feel like he killed himself because he was going to jail, or he killed himself because he had to deal with letting so many people down that he probably had already promised a future?
Probably both. And you're
you
right
think
about
you're
that.
him, you feel me? One of the fastest receivers in the league, one of the fastest 40s at the time, and then now you're a murderer.
Yeah,
And the news, the story made the news. It made national
big-
news
yeah, big
before he
news.
was even proven guilty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. He's innocent before proven guilty. I mean, he's guilty before proven innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know the pressures that he was under. Family. He could have been a bell cow for the family.
Yeah. You're 100% right.
It's pressures. Inherited pressures is individualized. With that, and I get what you're saying in regards to suicide. you know, some people say it's the cowardly way out. Some people say it's one of the most courageous things somebody could do, because think about it, you're killing yourself. You know, some people, it's hard to, when they jam their finger, it's hard to pop their finger back into place, you know, to take that pain on. You know, so it's a sad case. It's sad that, you know, a situation like this sent this kid, he was what, 21, 22 maybe, this kid that had been working to get for his plan in his life, and so far it was going the right way. Now, yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I know what you're saying, Jose. That's a tough one, and I know you were struggling with trying to talk about that. We talked about that before.
Yeah, because I don't want to say, you know.
You don't want to sound, you know.
Yeah, because maybe
insensitive or whatever. But I get you.
But I actually agree with what he was saying, because I've seen that. I've seen that a lot of times. I actually had a big argument with somebody over basically saying what they're gonna do when their nephew gets this contract, because it was actually one of my nephews, and he'd been telling me that he didn't want to play football when he got older. He was ranked really high and this and that. And I'm like, y'all cannot put all your hopes and dreams on this kid, you know, to carry the family.
It happens.
Because you think, I agree with you. That's why I was saying I agree that this,
supposed to have,
you know, that's a whole nother aspect that is crazy to me. You know,
everybody, you know, everybody don't know about that type of pressure. You know, they'll select few that do, not only, you know, athletes, but, you know, people in regular working, you know, getting a promotion, being at a law firm or whatever, trying to get their promotion, and it doesn't happen. Now you can't do this for that person, do that for that person. You know, it's a lot of pressure or whatever.
A lot of Indian family homes,
You know.
just like the arranged marriages, it's like they force you to have a specific doctoral degrees and, you know, things that may not match your soul or your spirit.
And I lost a house on false promises. They told me, the underwriters was like, you have to get a raise to $24 an hour to qualify for this house. This is your last qualification. It was a last minute throw in there. Go to my boss. I'm like, is there any way I could get a raise to 24 an hour? He like, no, you only make 18 an hour. I already told my girl we're going to get the house. I just called the underwriter. Yeah, you could call my boss and just ask him. Call the boss. No, Zan makes 18 an hour. He doesn't make 24 an hour. I don't know why he told you to call me. Lose escrow money, pull the papers on the house, disqualify for the house. This is after coming up with $8,000 in closing money. Done called aunties, families. This is all in me trying to be that guy. First guy to have a house out the kids. Lost it all. So it's extreme amounts of pressure when you're looked at, or when you look at yourself as that guy. Whether you like it or not, that's what you're signing up for if you don't want to be a regular NPC person that's just going about the motions.
All right, Frank said we aren't treated fairly. We never will be. The world is different now, all thanks to Orange Grimace. Shaking my damn head. Actually started before him. He's just perfecting the craft, dog.
Thank you.
Kiki said he is absolutely correct. They will still ask you about your arrest record and ask you, do you mind sharing what happened? I kindly say yes. I mind, and no, I'm not sharing, with a straight face. Number one says, happy birthday to Lowe's Uncle D on his heavenly birthday, 10-9.
Shout out D.
Sound like you had some predatory lender.
Diddy.
Whoever you was dealing with, it sound like a predatory lender. It does.
Happy birthday to Mama Bracy. Oh, 10-10 tomorrow, right?
What's today's date?
What's today's date? I'm lost.
The 6th.
Oh, my bad.
Every week.
Yeah, this week. And so we'll shout you out again next week, Mama Bracy also. So, hey, top 5, man. Top 5 documentaries that you have seen on television or whatever.
I can't remember what you said.
What'd you say?
No, I'm just saying that documentary. Dang, that's
Tough,
hard
ain't it?
to. Yeah, that's a tough one.
I'm surprised you ain't documentary down.
It's like hard to remember.
Oh, it's just you had so many of
I
them.
love
Okay.
documentaries.
Like, are we talking about official movies that came out, or can we call it like YouTube documentaries? Do those count?
YouTube docs work.
Documentary.
I think YouTube's
Documentary.
probably a more believable, to be honest with you.
I just know one off the top.
All right, go ahead.
I'm just say this one.
Oh, I
that
thought we
know.
was gonna take a break.
Now, you gotta
What
give
the
5.
Health? Y'all heard of that before? Who? What the Health, where they show you all of the different types of foods and how it's been created in America with the farms and how they killing the animals with diseases and feeding us anything. Well,
Go ahead.
that's
go ahead.
one.
Go ahead. Come on.
A documentary about aliens, UFOs.
Yeah, that what you like? That what you like?
Yeah, it is your top 5. It
They
ain't
are
ours.
real.
It's yours. Go
They
ahead.
have came
So I
out.
have to come up with 5. Documentary. It was about killings in another country. This one was dark, like the mafias and like the gang people.
The real mafias over
Yeah,
there.
the real G's. They was cut. I saw a lady. It's vulgar, deep. I mean, I saw a lady head get cut off with a knife, like a little kitchen knife, not a butcher knife, a small one. And then another documentary about science and DNA in the body. I don't know the names of these. That's number 4.
Right. That's what I was thinking. How do you know the names?
Just give what it was about. That can work. You
And,
can always Google it if somebody want to watch it.
A documentary about sound healing frequencies and how it resonate. I mean, how it relate to everything in the world, because everything carries a vibration, and that's where anger comes from. You know, you get anxiety and mad and tight. You feel me? Literally, blood pressure rising, and sound frequency is like everywhere and everything. So you can heal the body through sound. You can create turmoil. You can even put out a fire with a specific frequency and hertz. You don't need water or salt.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
it's just the power of sound.
What you got over there, home with your YouTubies?
Well, I like I said, I'm a creative, so I recently really liked this. It was a brand breakdown on Como des Garçons. I watched another brand breakdown on Alexander Wang. I watched a documentary and like a house visit on Benjamin Kicks. He's like one of the main figures that's running like streetwear in that culture right now. But I also have one Get Rich Die Poor. Do y'all know that author? He's an Asian
Robert
author.
Kiyosaki?
Yes, he has a documentary out about finances, and if y'all want to get y'all finance game right, go look at that ASAP. Got to get your financial literacy up going into 2025, this fourth quarter. And then last but not least, it was a documentary on Kanye West. Got to throw that in there.
Yeah, that's
was
a
good.
great one.
That was a really good documentary, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
I really like to see like the thought process behind people that got like not a lot of power, but people that run a lot of different stuff at the same time. How you run an empire, and we also got to see the breaking point that came from that.
Wow. I have to check that one out. I ain't looked at
Yeah,
that.
it's
Genius,
dope.
right?
It's dope.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That jump's good, man.
Yeah.
That
I
thin
enjoyed
line.
that.
It's inspiring, wasn't
I
it?
enjoyed that.
I tell everybody
I
watch that.
was so impressed by that doc. We talked about it the other night. They were doing. I was so impressed by that documentary. Just the fact that he knew way back
Yes.
then to chronicle his life. That was genius.
That's
Yeah.
genius.
It was genius. I gotta give it to him.
It's a
think
dope
he gave it to me.
representation of like manifesting, right?
Absolutely.
And speaking things as though,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? He spoke his whole life
Into fruition.
into fruition.
That's dope.
Kind of to his downfall.
I don't think so.
But yeah.
What you got, D Wayne?
I'm gonna stay out.
Yeah, documentary.
All right, Jose, go ahead.
All right, so there's a documentary. I cannot think of the name of it, but it's about modern day slavery. how there were still people in the 2000s that were still in slavery, and they went to find these people because the South had all these laws when they started letting people out of slavery, but they found ways to there's still laws that say maybe you get convicted of I don't know, maybe you get convicted of theft, and it'll say that you have to serve your time on this plantation for like 30 years or something like that. And so these people and their kids are living on these, but not knowing that they could still leave, you know.
Wow.
Okay, so then there was the one about Google. There's a documentary about Google. Everyone should kind of see that one because that's crazy as hell, just showing all the little stuff that they do, how the stuff is not accurate, and they put anything on there.
For sure.
And it's all political, and they push products, and Google is just a disaster.
Even down to the logo. Everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere.
The 13th, that was one of my favorite ones. Documentary called The 13th. Finding Kendrick Johnson. That was about the little boy that was found in the rolled up mat. There's a documentary
Down at
on
the
it.
high school. Yeah.
It was.
You guys have to see that. The corruption
I was so.
that's in the system.
Oh yeah.
And again, like we were talking about, we maybe should talk about that a little bit next time, because that's the stuff I like. You know, the people that are innocent and out here fighting for justice, right? They had like 7 judges that, recluse themselves from the case.
Recuse themselves.
It's
from the case.
crazy.
They need to be locked up.
And the last one is they're trying to kill us.
They're trying to kill us.
They're trying to kill us, and everyone should see that. It's about your eating habits, and then I watch all kind of documentaries about food on YouTube. Everyone should watch. Everyone needs to see those about this fake food and the stuff that we're taking in, and how they're trying to kill us. Talks about how Black people, we're not even made to have this type of diet that we have in the United States. That's why we're so sick. And as soon as you change your diet, a lot of your ailments will go away. But don't take it from me. Take it from the documentary.
Facts.
That's easy.
Most of mine are going to be about sports, of course, except for this one. The downfall of Diddy. Yo. Hearing the reports or whatever, but seeing this dude was wild. Yo. Next level, I don't even want to call it freakiness. This dude was wilding. It's a 4-part joint.
4 parts.
Yeah, because they kept doing it, during the trial or whatever. But I haven't looked at the last one yet. But yeah, if you want to know exactly what or most of the stuff he was doing, he was a wild dude, bro. Next, the one on the documentary recently on Brett Favre. I thought that was pretty cool because they showed him at his highest, and it took him down to where he was, still hasn't went to court anything for the money and stuff that he stole, in regard, that he took the money that was supposed to be going to some people that needed it in schools and stuff like that, but he took it in and put it towards the school for his daughter's volleyball team, that type of deal. That one was pretty dope. Reggie White, the documentary on Reggie White was really powerful. That one was really good. The documentary on Lawrence Taylor, actually seeing him, and I've actually spoke to the man, actually seeing him talk about his own downfall and the stuff that he was doing while he was playing football. And, he can acknowledge that now. So that was pretty dope. What's that? That's 3. I've been watching a lot of them lately. Watching a lot of them lately. Who else? Sports. Oh, Steve McNair. Steve McNair's documentary was pretty deep. It was a documentary that and I loved it because his family was involved in it. It showed his great times, but it also showed, him as a man and what he did and all that type of stuff, but it was still, it upheld him. It did not, I don't think it damaged his reputation at all with that documentary. Who number one? Shoot. Of course, I'm gonna just go with this one. Shoot, the Chicago Bulls joint, man.
I was gonna say.
The Chicago Bulls joint, bro. That
Nice.
one was
Michael Jordan's.
yeah. The Last Dance. 10 parts. And I watched every one of them. Probably done watched them all. Maybe
world did was on
three.
COVID.
Three. Right. Perfect time for it to come out. Yeah. I still look at some of it now, but it was the next one that I'm looking forward to. You know what? Last Dance and the Kobe Bryant joint up there together for me. Because Kobe's story was crazy, the way he grew up in Italy and all that type of stuff. So, yeah, there go. I could keep going because I'm a documentary guy. Now I got to look at this. I actually saw the Kanye West thing today, and because I was at lunch, and I was like, man, I'm gonna get into this and not want to stop it. So I'm gonna have to watch that. Now that y'all have said that, I will have my report on that next week.
I was thoroughly impressed. All right, my mom has Marilyn Monroe, Barbara Walters, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Temptations, and Black History. Annalena got 13th Amendment, Aretha Franklin. There's only two I see, so hopefully it's not somewhere else. I don't see nothing else. It's about from my aunt. She always say I miss hers, so there's only two I see. Kiki has I don't watch much TV, but a few I've seen. Katrina, Come Hell and Hot Water.
Yes.
O.J. Simpson.
Everybody saw that.
Black Panthers. BMF documentary, and Growing Up in the Projects in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. I want some.
Frank
Yeah, I
has
saw that one.
Kobe doc, Luther doc on CNN, and Any Animal doc.
I still haven't watched that Luther doc. I've got to watch that.
And I have one more. Sorry, it's called Purdue. I think that's the name of the company that is like a drug company. So they basically had these little girls in fast cars going into hospitals, bribing the doctors to switch their prescriptions from a safer drug for everyone that got hurt at work or something that was in a whole bunch of pain, and transition their drugs to a cheaper brand for them, but more revenue for them, but more detrimental for us, And a lot of people end up getting hooked on these drugs and, opioids, whatever, pharmaceutical painkillers, and basically ruined their lives, became like drug addicts, and that was Purdue.
You talking about
Bad.
Oxycontin?
Oxycontin.
I watched all of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a mess.
All right, I got a documentary on the Williams sisters.
Good.
I really enjoyed that. The documentary on Jesse Owens
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
was really good for what he had to deal with, go through, what have you, and how he was treated after being so successful. Richard Pryor documentary. I'm a real
Legend.
Richard Pryor fan, legend.
Right, I
You know what I
love
mean?
him.
But all the details about his life. Broke
Oh,
What's that one about?
Yeah, I never heard.
on all the athletes who went broke within 3 years of retiring.
yeah.
Hey.
And it's and when you see the list,
You
and at
be-
the end of the documentary, they have a whole list of all the athletes that have gone broke, and the names you see, you can be like, "Dang, him."
Dang.
Isn't it
Yeah.
like 70%?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you
It's
something.
probably that
Yeah, I
number.
have
It's
read
a
like a
large
really high number. Yeah.
That
really high number.
documentary,
Yeah.
if any professional athlete goes broke after that documentary came out, it's their own fault. That's how detailed that thing is in regards to people losing their money and investing with the wrong people. Bro, that's a great one.
Broke.
Yeah, it's really good. And last but not least, any documentary on Malcolm X.
Facts.
In particular, last one was like a year ago or so, the one about who killed Malcolm X. That documentary was, when I say captivating, and how the truth really, and how people who went to jail weren't the ones who killed him. But yeah, Who Killed Malcolm X. If you ever seen that, you should watch it. It is, this guy goes back into New York. He goes back into all the malls. He goes, I mean, it is so detailed. But it is, I mean, I couldn't stop watching. I watched all that junk one night, man. That junk was so captivating. But Who Killed Malcolm X was really good. It's really good.
That's good.
Good deal, good deal. Listen, man, appreciate everyone's opinions tonight. It was dope. Had a good time. We stay way too long, but you know that's what happens on Classic Conversation sometime. I think next week top 5 should be, instead of documentaries,
Books.
top 5 movies. You know, like say Malcolm X movie. You know, top 5 movies that is supposedly true, but of course they add, because once you read that,
Biographies.
once you look at the Malcolm X documentary compared to the movie, you be like, damn, that ain't what happened in the movie. You know, that type of stuff, the Temptations, all them type things that actually they have to add a couple of different things. But I think that would be pretty dope, you know, so we can do that next week. If not next week, 1 week soon. But Monday, man, we will be back again next week. Angelo, where you at this week?
This weekend, man, of course, you know, tomorrow night we at Traditions Global Cuisine with Kelly Kells. Wednesday night we at KOD and Central Station. KOD, we got, what's his name? Deshaun Ross. Cat out of L.A. with big afro, real funny brother. This weekend at KOD we have We Talk Like This podcast comedy tour with 4 heavyweights, Steve Brown, Lav Love, Sean Larkins, and Marvin Hunter. I'm talking about 4 legitimate headliners on their own, all on one stage, so it's going to be dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff, good stuff.
And for my anybody live in Macon, November 21st, Rodney Perry, live in Macon, our first theater date. So we're excited about
We
that.
going to Macon, Shawty. Going to Macon.
Uptown Comedy Corner Road show.
On the
baby.
road, you dig? It'd be packed too.
Sunshine, you supposed to give the tag.
It'd be packed for real,
He
for
said
real.
Uptown Comedy.
For all of you For My
Uptown
Man
Corner Road
fans,
It's a building.
I was on it, I think, while I was gone. Episode 8, I think it was on last week or whatever. Some people sent me some clips of it. I hadn't even looked at it yet myself, but yeah. Boy was on For My Man. And that's about it for me, man. I'm trying to become a regular dude for a little while and work a real job, which I'm realizing I really don't like doing. But gotta do what I gotta
You
do.
realizing that you've been saying that.
Gotta do what I gotta do for the time being. You know what I'm saying? But Scream 7, look for me in that as You'll see me in Scream 7. That's gonna be
Okay.
dope. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
Motion picture.
Yeah.
That's
Big
what's up.
screen. This is gonna be the first time
Congratulations.
I go in the movie theater with my cell phone. Shout out to that bad boy. Hoping they don't catch me because I'm gonna be recording. I think it's February 17th is when it's supposed to drop. So
That's what's up.
that's gonna do it, man. We will be back next week. Classic Conversations with JT and Lowe,
And Jose.
and we are out. You dig?
Tell a friend, tag a friend.
Classic Conversations with JT and Lowe. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with JT and Lowe. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic Conversations with JT and Lowe. Classic Conversations with JT and Lowe. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic Conversations with JT and Lowe. You never know which way to rap. Classic Conversations with JT and Lowe. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with JT and Lowe. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna Classic Conversations with JT and Lowe. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. It's Classic Conversations with JT and Lowe. You never know which way to rap. The record's gonna go. Classic Conversations with JT and Lowe.